Good morning and welcome to Tuesday. Happy December. I'm Joe Jaquin, CEO of the Patriot Trading Group, and our toll-free number 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com and updated every single day. Well, Monday through Friday. We take the weekend off from updating, but we had articles, videos, news, everything you need to know, all out there at allamericangold.com. And it is December. Do you got the Christmas tree up? Are the lights getting ready to decorate the outside of your house? Santa Claus coming to town tomorrow. My youngest son will turn 18. Wasn't able to vote this year. From here on out, he'll be a voting member of society. So happy birthday to him. A lot of birthdays in December in my family. My grandmother was on December 23rd. My wife her birthday's in a couple of weeks, and bunch of other people that I know. So happy birthday to all you December birthdays. It's always got to be the worst month for a birthday, right? You know, you think about it because of Christmas and everything. The closer you get, probably the worse it is. You probably got the birthday / Christmas present. So a special shout out to all you December birthdays out there. Wow, a lot of things to talk about. Big rally in gold and silver. I did my best to try to, and again, listen, I know you always want to wait, right? Well, what if it keeps going down, right? And I get it. If it was going down for a viable reason, then maybe you wait it out. But we knew this was all just a bunch of Wall Street games and chartists and people that were trying to make a quick buck during light trades and over the Thanksgiving holidays. Nothing's fixed, right? Nothing's fixed. Matter of fact, this morning, more talk of stimulus again, right? It's coming. Right? We know it's coming. How big is it going to be? How many trillions more are we going to spend? Steve Mnuchin and Jay Powell testifying in front of Congress. Let them know how badly we need the government to help us. No, we need the government to get out of the way. It's all we need. It's all we've ever needed. Get out of the way and let Americans do what they do best. Go to work. But at every corner, seemingly shutting everything down. What is up with the left? Right? They shut down these states. Right? And they come out, scare everybody to death about, COVID and this, that, and the other, ban dining, shut down bars, restaurants. And then we find out, well, we only want you to do that. We're not going to do that. Right? The latest now, what was it? I think it was the Los Angeles County, which has banned all dining now. You can't even eat outside. Nope. The only you can do is get it to go, just crushing countless thousands of more businesses. The day she was the deciding vote. Her name was Sheila Kuehl. Or Kuhn. She was the deciding vote on the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors that imposed the ban on dining. And lo and behold, what did she do? She went out and dined. Yeah, sure did. And said that it was a farewell. Yes, I was saying farewell. I loved eating at wherever it was that she was at, and it was a farewell. What an ultimate slap in the face. But listen, here's what I want you to understand. I want you to listen to her comments as she voted for this, okay? This was in L.A. County. At the meeting where she cast the deciding vote, she called outdoor dining a most dangerous situation. Yes. Outdoor, it's horrible. Saying that she felt there was a risk of transmission of the virus from unmasked customers to the masked waiters and waitresses. Okay. That's how you feel about it. Then what the heck were you doing at the restaurant? This is a serious health emergency, she went on to say, and we need to take it seriously. The servers are not protected from us, and they're not protected from their other tables that they're serving at that particular time, plus all the hours in which they're working. Well, I guess you fixed that, didn't you? Now they're not working at all. Right? Congratulations. Who are you to decide whether or not these waiters and waitresses can provide for your families? On the very last day, because you know what they always say, like, you know, today's Tuesday. They issue a ban, they'll be like, okay, well, starting Friday, apparently it's not the most dangerous situation until Friday. But on the last possible day, she was busted while eating at one of her favorite restaurants. So apparently it was okay to put all of these waiters and waitresses in harm's way one last time. There you have it. This madness is. Just get out of the way, and we'll take care of the rest. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back right after the break. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe Jaquin here on the first day of December. Product continues to be thin. Gold prices holding up really, really well here. Gold's up about $35 this morning, back above 1,800 and kind of getting back into sync with things. The dollar under pressure again. The massive amounts of debt. Now they're at least starting to talk about more stimulus and how much stimulus they're going to need. Jay Powell, not to let anybody down, announced this morning a continuation of all the Fed balance sheet and you know, just the blowing up of their balance sheet. They're going to continue on this program. You know, they've extended it now, I think, another 6 months, right? So endless buying nonstop, right? Bubble creation. They're you know, go out to our website. We're not going to play it today, but Jeffrey Gunlatch was giving an interview, and we got the whole thing on our website. It's about a half an hour, but, you know, pick it up at about the 8-minute mark and just listen. Just give it, you know, 2, 3, 4 minutes. That's all you need to know about what I think is the end of the central bank, or what I'm hoping is the end. Janet Yellen is the end. She's the end. The digital currency is coming. Just look at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, I think it's at a new high, or right near a new high, right near 20,000. Right? They want to have you believe there's credibility there. Remember, I warned you last week before we went on the Thanksgiving holiday. Get ready for the endless amount of people talking great about digital currency. I mean, now it used to be Bitcoin's going to 100,000. This week, Bitcoin's going to 500,000, right? They want you to believe that this is great. And really, you know my opinions on Bitcoin and all the other coins. I think it's fantastic. I think we should allow it. Matter of fact, if we can allow Bitcoin, we can allow gold and silver. Heck, we can allow all kinds of things. Competition. Bring it on. Let us all have the ability to decide how we want to store our wealth. right? Why do we only have to have dollars? What if you wanted euros or Japanese yen? Or heaven forbid, maybe you want the renminbi. I don't know. I mean, in the age of computers and online, all the point and click, it wouldn't be that difficult. How would you like to pay today? Right? And you can store your money any way you like. Maybe you want to put it all in Bitcoin. Maybe you want to put it all in gold or all in silver, or maybe you want to break it up. And then you can just decide how you'd like to pay. Just have a drop-down menu. It's not that hard. Right? Instead of clicking Visa or MasterCard. Just pick. But they don't want competition. Because they know if you had the option to pick, how many of you would pick dollars? I mean, I'll tell you right now, if I had the option to pick, I would have some of it in dollars. Absolutely, I would. Would I have all of it in dollars? Not a chance. Not even close. You have the ability to pick, compete. But that would be devastating. And believe me, this is the thing that I worry about for the Bitcoins of the world. When the actual digital currency comes, are they still going to allow it to compete against? See, that's the fear I have. I'm thinking in my mind, probably not. Right? And they'll just make it to where you're forced to get out and make it difficult without, I think some nations like China, I can see China just banning it altogether. And then other countries would make it so difficult it's not worth it anymore. That's just my opinion. Because they can't have it compete. They need every dollar. And when you're listening to Jeffrey Gundlach, if you do, please do. Because he talks about the central bank being both the arsonist and the firefighter, in saying that somehow the central bankers decided that bankruptcy was bad. Default was bad. And see, they needed to try to stop that from happening. And because of that, we now have these debts. They're ridiculous. I mean, come on. 30 trillion national debt, Fed balance sheet that this time next year is going to be 12, 15 trillion, right? Social Security, right? That's busted. Medicare. No one even talks about Medicare and Medicaid, Social Security, disability. They're all busted. Mortgage debt. It's like 10, 11 trillion, right? Student loan debt approaching $2 trillion, right? Automobile debt, credit card debt, trillions of dollars there. And he said, you know what? This is the problem. They didn't want for people to go belly up. And what happened is, and now we've got all this debt, and most of it, not all of it, but most of it, at best, is zombie debt. You know, you look at every retailer that's not Walmart, Target, and Amazon, right? Maybe throw a Home Depot in there, right? And maybe a TJ Maxx. But all the rest of them, they're garbage. Right? Kohl's, garbage. JCPenney, garbage. Neiman Marcus, garbage. Right? Nordstrom's, garbage. Right? The list goes on and on and on. Garbage, garbage, garbage. And it's not just retail. Now all the small businesses They're saying now. I have a hard time believing, but this is just what they're saying. 1/3 of all small businesses in New York and New Jersey have closed. Closed. And we have all this debt, and the central bank playing both the arsonist and the firefighter. And they did it again today. We're going to keep buying it. We're going to keep buying all the zombie crap out there. And there's that pushing where we keep pushing on the string. Now, this is why I said yesterday, I'll say it again today. Buy this, pull back. Don't worry about, maybe I could have got it for another $20 less. Well, not anymore, right? But so what? Be prepared. Right? Be diversified, right? Have some money in the stock market, right? Makes great sense. Look at the Dow's been great. Now listen, Citigroup today said there's a 100% chance you're going to lose money in the stock market in 2021. I don't know that that's true, but it's frothy. That's probably at worst it's frothy, right? At best, this is the biggest stock bubble we've ever seen. And we've seen it not just in stocks, in bonds, in housing. Right? Can you have 700,000 people? Now think about this, jobless claims. Let's just use one number. It's pretty easy. Remember jobless claims? They were like what, 220, let's just call it between 200 and 250,000 every week, right? Most of the time, about 225 a week, every week. Week after week after week. We haven't had a number below 700,000 since February. Right? And you're like, wait a minute, how did we go from 200,000 to 700,000? And somehow everything's wonderful. And this is kind of the problem, right? This is why Gunletch was talking about the firefighter and the arsonist. What would have been really healthy? Well, what would have been really healthy is, a decade ago, 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago, 4 decades ago, we allowed for recessions to happen. It's okay. Yesterday, I talked about it yesterday. One of the great things about America, you can fail, pick yourself back up, and try again. Learn from your mistakes. And a lot of us have. How many of you out there listening, especially you business owners, have tried multiple different things? They don't all work. But as you try and continue, right, you get better at it. Right? You become a better owner, right? You learn from your mistakes. But, you may have to default on things here and there. And now, unfortunately for us, we don't have a central banker with the stones to say, hey, these banks, they were bad. These banks have lent money out that they never should have lent, but they don't care. I'm going to do it because the central bank is going to buy it. And I'm going to do it because I just want to get paid. I'll worry about the bankruptcy later. Right? They keep kicking the can down the road and kicking the can down the road and kicking it down the road and kicking it down the road. Unfortunately, at the end of the road, right, it's not a dead end. No, there's a big cliff. And we're all going to go over. Now, how we land, that's up to you. Right? If you have all of your money in Wall Street and in your house, you're probably not going to land very well. If you've had it spread out and you got it diversified and you got gold and silver in your portfolio, you're going to land better. Right? People always ask, well, how much gold should I have? Well, you know our rule of thumb here now. An ounce for every year you're alive. An ounce for every year your wife's alive, your kids are alive. That's what you need. If you have more than that, great. But you start thinking about, let me give you another way of thinking about this. See if I'm right or not. See if Jeffrey Gunlatch is right or not. I'm 50, okay? My youngest son going to turn 18 tomorrow. How many of you out there didn't live in your house with your parents at 18? I didn't. Today, no one even thinks about an 18-year-old living outside of their parents' house. It'd be impossible. No way they could pay for it. And you start thinking back to just, 30 years ago. That was, not only was it possible, a lot of people did it, especially by the time you were in your early 20s, everybody was gone. 800-951-0592. So are we better? Forget about COVID. Set it aside for a minute. Even though it's sped up everything. But for decades now, something very, very disturbing has been happening in America. It's getting harder and harder to live. It's getting harder and harder, right, to quote unquote live the American dream. I just took a quick poll of the office because all three girls are here. So Brooke, Brittany, Arlene are all here. And so I just asked them during the break, when did you leave home? 2 19s, 1 18. I was out at 17. And over the last few decades, young adults have faced the harshest economic realities. And really what it is you're not living better than your parents. The ability to move out. That's why I look at the housing market. It makes me laugh all the time. I mean, they can buy down interest rates all they want. But the true affordability of homes is far different than people understand. Even new home sales, notice that new home sales, big jumps. It looks impressive. It is impressive. But understand that 2020 was the start of the rental community. I think we got over half a dozen of them now. Every home being built in these subdivisions are rentals. They're all bought for, right? It counts as a new home sale. The problem is the people doing the buying, they're not moving in. No, they're investment groups. The American home ownership rates are continuing to plunge. And the latest data is suggesting that things are still getting worse. Young adults are now living with their parents to the greatest degree in the last 120 years. So go all the way back to the 1900s, right? Never, ever have young adults lived with mommy and daddy at any point in American history. Really, you go all the way back. Because we know back in the way back days, you're right, you got married early. Even the Great Depression. Young adults, by the way, there are two categories now, right? We know the late Millennials and the Gen Zers, right? I think they're the same, okay? Same people, but okay. If you want to make you feel better about it, I guess that could be okay. Right now, according to the latest data for 2020, 52% of all young adults now live with their parents and or grandparents. 1960, the numbers were 29%. The 70s, 31%. The 80s, 32%. The 90s, 36%. The 2000s, 38%. 2010, 44%. Now, 52%. You know, you go back, the previous highs was the 40, during World War II. When you can understand, right, the Great Depression just had happened, and kids are off fighting wars and coming home, and when they come home, they're at their parents for a while. It was 48%. But by 1950, it was already back in the 30s. I mean, it was boop, boop, it was a spike and then down. And you're seeing this whole thing. What's happened? And here's the problem. None of the debt gets reset. Right? Remember this 2% inflation garbage? Garbage. Let me tell you our great banking strategy. Devalue their money and let's lie about it. Let's tell them we want 2% inflation. Now, of course, we're going to rig inflation. So it's almost impossible to get it. Okay, let's start with that. Right? My best example, do you know, since 1995, according to the way the Federal Reserve and our bankers calculate inflation, the price of a new vehicle has not changed. Yeah, it's zero. It's a fact. That's how they count it, zero. I mean, you go back to 1970, the median price of a home, $26,000. And that puts you right in the middle. That meant half the homes were worth more than that, half the homes were worth less than that. New car, $3,000, and that was a nice one. If you had 30 grand, you lived in a middle-class house and you had a brand new car for $30,000. Today, if you have 300 grand, you can't even be in the median price home. You don't get the car. Right? You may be able to get, a home 40 miles outside of town here for 300 grand. Right? But think about this, 30 grand. The year I was born puts you right in the middle, the median price of a home and a car. And really for 30 grand, you had $1,000 left. It's 29 grand. This is what's happened. This is why your kids can't move out. They can't do it. They don't make enough money. Can't pay the rent. But yet nobody sees this as a problem. This is the great American society. Yeah, listen, it's coming. Right? The end of the road is almost here. 800-951-0592. What a difference a day makes. Yesterday, U.S. Silver Eagles were at $5.70 a roll. Today, silver's up over well over $1 an ounce. $5.95 on U.S. Silver Eagles, and I'm telling you, it's still a great buy at $595. I'm going to tell you what we've got on gold, because this is probably how it's going to be through Christmas. $20 gold pieces. We have 35 20s right now at $2,045. We have about 45 $10 pieces. Those are at $1,045. I'm gonna take $20 off and put them at $1,025. So about 210s, about the same price as a 20. $5 liberties, I don't have any. I mean, I can get them, but there's nothing really out there at $570. That's it. That's your choices today. At 800-951-0592. And here's the reality. Right? You should probably paying close to $3,000 for a 20 today, for a $20 gold piece, for an ounce of gold, at least. Feel fortunate at $2,045. Feel fortunate buying silver for under $30. You should feel fortunate. And the only reason why is because they keep trying to pretend like they fixed something. That's their favorite thing to do. They haven't fixed anything. Think about what they're talking about right now. We're going to extend every emergency purchase program the Federal Reserve has, all of it. Right? Commercial paper. Right? Who in their right mind's buying commercial paper right now? Anybody interested in any commercial paper in the state of California at all right now? How about New York? How about Illinois? You want some commercial paper there? Are you kidding me? But they're going to buy it because they want to pretend. But we're in the land of make-believe. All of you out there need to believe your house is worth a stupid amount of money. You know it's not worth that. I know it's not worth that. But we got to pretend. We got to pretend your 20-something, possibly 30-something-year-old son or daughter may eventually be able to leave the house. Who knows? Maybe even get married. No one's even getting married anymore. Look, can you blame them? Not now with COVID, right? You can't even go out. Now they're out there telling you, you know what, I need to protect you from working. As the L.A. Board of Supervisors lady. Yes, it's my job to protect all the waiters and waitresses out there. It's not their job. They don't know how to protect themselves. They don't know what's good for them. Well, I'll tell them what's good for them. Then, of course, I'm going to absolutely do what I told you not to do on top of it. But make no mistake about it. All that's happened, it's been a cruel, cruel joke that's been played upon us. For those of you that have been able to keep your head above water and be able to have a few dollars put away, great job. Because most people, that's not the case. Do yourself a favor one day. One of the biggest food banks here in town, I think it's right off of, it's either Indian School or Camelback. And I haven't driven by there since the coronavirus. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do that this week. I'll get down there. Do it. Wait till you see the lines. They're incredible. And they're everywhere. If you ever go to LA, why would anyone go to LA? Right? Drive by Tent City there. I mean, it goes on for blocks and blocks and blocks. We can pretend it's not happening. Right? We can pretend. Go buy a new vehicle. Right? Just maybe not the dead rock bottom, but your basic, okay, middle of the road pickup truck. What are we talking? 40, 50,000? Heaven forbid you want a few bells and whistles on the thing. Maybe you want four-wheel drive and a lift kit, and, the Lariat package. Drop $100,000. The median price of a home in 1970 was $26,000. Right? And guess what? Your kids didn't live with you. Your adult kids. They didn't live with you. This is all what they've done. And despite all of that, right, despite it all, we keep wanting to believe that they fixed it. They want to believe it. Who are all the richest people? Stock market people, right? Look at Elon Musk, right? Jeff Bezos. They at least they've got companies, but it's really all about what? The price of their stock. That's how they made their money, right? Everybody else, just a working stiff, and guess what? We fall further and further and further behind. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment on this Tuesday, the first day of December. Gold's up about $35 here, $18.10 on gold. Silver, man, $1.30 now on silver, $23.84. So almost $24 on silver. I mean, yesterday it touched 21 and change. But that's silver. Silver's crazy. I've got a buddy. He likes his ladies a little crazy, right? That's silver. Silver's the crazy lady. If you like a little crazy in your life, silver's the way to go. The Dow, well off its highs. The Dow was up over 400 points. Now it's up 200 points. I don't know why. Who knows why? Why is it up? Why is it down? Nobody knows. U.S. Silver Eagles. I know it's not yesterday, but this is still silver is at least $4 or $5 undervalued minimum. Still think silver is going to be flirting with all-time highs in 2021. Put them away here at $5.95. $20 gold pieces, $20.45. $10 pieces, $1,025. Either way, put them away. I mean, and again, for most of this year, you're talking $2,200, give or take, right around there for a $20 gold piece. So $20.45, it's fantastic. They haven't fixed anything. Yeah, here comes Janet Yellen. Everybody clap and applaud. Please. This is it. The big debt bubble. This is the last inflation point before it's like, oh man, how much bigger can it get till it pops? I think we're getting ready for the pop. I think in the next 4 years, the pop comes. Now, does it come in 2022 or 2023 or 2024? I don't know. But we're kind of at that point. It's ridiculous. Do yourself a favor. Go to allamericangold.com today. Listen to the interview with Jeffrey Gundlach. Know this. Almost every billionaire in the world gives him their money. Okay, just know that. They give him their money. The part they want to protect, right? Maybe not the part they like to gamble with, but the part they know, hey, I want to keep this safe. That's where they go. Listen to it. You'll be glad you did. 800 951-0592. We'll see what tomorrow brings. The only thing down today, oil. News that Saudi Arabia is threatening to leave OPEC. The Saudis are tired of being the ones that cut oil production. So we'll wait and see. Other than that, it's oil's still at 44, which is pretty. It's been a lot lower than that recently. A lot of people expected a big production cut from the Saudis. That got put on hold today. We'll have to wait and see. Everything else, though, up today. Gold and silver, especially silver, up significantly today. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Everybody take care. God bless. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow.